What up, people? This is Big Boss Calvin 83, the real Big Boss Calvin 83. Gonna have to give my reaction to Michi X's point of view, and and it's just not her. I mean, I don't have a problem with Michi X. I mean, I do like her as a person, as a cool modern woman. However, this is the problem I have with a lot of melanated women. Even though you wouldn't call her melanated, I mean, hey, if that's how you want to see her, that's how you want to identify her. I'm not up for debate with that. I'm not. I'm not for that. I'm just gonna still have to touch base. The problem with a lot of modern women, a lot of modern black women, and only even modern mixed women who identify as black, and hey, the sign language that goes on out here. You can't talk sense and even with the so-called emotional intelligence, and even when you connect with feelings. From my experience, and when I'm beginning to realize that you can't tell them nothing. They even when you have the emotional intelligence and empathy. Now, if you talk to the wrong female, she'll use that against you. She'll question your manhood because I have to touch base on the sign language that a lot of these westernized, especially modern American women, with their sign language bullshit. The sign language and sign language, sign, shame, insults, guilt. They need to be goddamn right. I'll say that one more time. Shame, insults. They need to be right. Let's play the video.
This slap. So, what do y'all think about this slap? I'm not mad that Will Smith slapped the shit out of Chris Rock. Okay, I just want to say.
I'm like this. I'm not annoyed either. Now, I'm speaking under. This is under the guidelines of fair use. I'm just. I really don't feel nothing for Will and what he's dealing with. He brought on himself. But to me, it's just I'm just disappointed and disappointed in black women in their bullshit and not being able to, and the fact that many of y'all collectively defend the wrong black females, which I'm gonna touch base more into the video. Reaction.
I know it's a lot of y'all that have mixed emotions, and for me, it's not really about the slap. I did hear a lot of black people chastising what happened and chastising Will Smith and saying that, you know, he shouldn't have acted like this in a room full of white people, or he shouldn't have done this, you know, at the Oscars and things of that nature, right? I think far too often we are too concerned with what white people think, and I don't understand why we can't act like this in front of white. Have y'all not ever seen white people fight like this?
Now here's the thing. I do agree with her on that. I've seen the ugly side of Caucasians, even with their white on white crime, white on white domestic violence, how they lie on each other, especially the females, how they lie on the dudes. And I am familiar with the white manosphere, the Caucasian red pill community. You know, the caves. I'm familiar with the cave male advocates. I'm familiar with them real well. And I can tell you that there are a bunch of simps over there too. A bunch of blue pilled, black pilled, dark blue pilled, purple rage maniacs. You know, they complain about women, and but when you have solutions as a man, or you are one of those no nonsense men that say we got to destroy the gynocracy, women have unchecked female privilege. And that's not up for debate. You can look it up yourself. The data speaks for itself. Women get a lot of special treatment because they got a bit JJ. The gynocracy, women not being held accountable for their fucked up toxic behavior, and how it's been enabled. And then when you try to get together with men, and this is regardless of race now. And this is even I have a problem. Even I have more of it with black men because I'm a black man, a melanated man. Is that y'all don't want reform. Y'all just want to just stop doing it. Let me say this before I continue with my reaction. If you want women to change, you're gonna have to take away their power. They're gonna knock their privileges. You're gonna have to when you give a group of people all power, privilege, and all power, and even though it's the illusion of authority, when you put women on the pedestal, when you give them free range and special rights and special treatment, give them all power, off based off that all power and no responsibility. Guess what? You're gonna have a madhouse. And when you give power and you give people and you elevate people who really don't deserve to be elevated. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. When you put women on the pedestal, you pedestalize them. You don't hold them accountable. See, women have to submit when women don't have no. Women can have rights, but they got to have accountability and consequences, and they got to deal with the consequences as a man would. So when you so that I say, look, I don't look. I'm for women having their rights, but they got to earn it, and I'm for women having rights, but they got to be accountable. Harshly as y'all do men, as a whole. If and no buts about it. She has to be harshly accountable. The only way you're going to have to get women to comply and women to change their behavior and be able to position to check. First of all, I stand with y'all wisdom. You can't hold women accountable when you don't hold yourself accountable as a man. You can't talk about how women behave badly and they're not held accountable, but you want her to respect you as a man, but you act like a bitch yourself. You want to be able to be reckless, emotionally toxic, reckless with your behavior without no consequences, and that defeats the purpose of why we have a men's rights, men's advocates groups, the manosphere as a whole.
I want to really be clear about that because we be acting like white people don't do none of this shit. You know how y'all be in the chat and y'all be like, white people don't do this on YouTube? Yes, they do. Do any of y'all watch the white YouTube sector?
Yes, I do.
Not that I do, but I've seen some of them. You a lie, they be beefing. White boys be talking about white boys. Yes, they do.
And
so y'all don't even know what y'all be talking about. So I want y'all to understand that that is a mindset of condition.
And they be talking about how much they're against feminism, but they don't get called out for it though.
We are always so quick to assume you have no evidence, you don't have any proof, you have not investigated, but we so quick to run and be like, well, look at how we acting ignorant. Why we don't act like that? White folks don't act like this. Why are white people our standard? I mean, we know that we've been conditioned to that, but why are white people our standard? Who give a fuck what they think?
And again, I will say this, that's that respectability politics that Robert Perkins has said. Is that what that white acceptance? We want this inclusion, the illusion of inclusion. We have never addressed black self-hatred. We have women on the men on their self-hatred, but we have never critiqued the women, and you're seeing the fruits of the fact that and you see how when it came to this independence, this feminism, the gynocracy, and how black women were put in a position above the black man, above the black man by the powers that be, by Zaddy and Karen, as y'all will say. You see that she's more loyal to white acceptance, and that starts like I says, when you manipulate the woman, you manipulate the whole generations. You manipulate the man; it's just on him.
And we always think white people don't do these things. Yes, they do. Y'all ain't never seen white people beef? Somebody brought up something, y'all may even know what I'm talking about. I don't know what they're talking about because you don't watch TV. They said at some other award show it was two white boys that got into it, and they had to break up the fight. And they was scrapping, so they had to break it up. Y'all ain't said, why them white boys wasn't all over the motherfucking TV and the internet?
You and I know they control the narrative, and black people have made them the moral authority. And regardless of how y'all think and feel about Kanye West, slavery was a choice. Especially in today's time, you got black people who choose to be coons and refuse to break the chains of mental and emotional, spiritual slavery.
Right, saying that it was an embarrassment to black people. I'm not embarrassed. We from the hood. How many times have y'all seen somebody get the shit slapped out of them? And it's just you got slapped. Goddamn, get over it.
Well, slapping somebody is assault. Try telling her that. And this is the problem. You think you can just put your hands on somebody and there's no consequences. See, but the problem with a lot of, I'm not saying her specifically, but women in general, unless it's another woman, they feel they can put their hands on a man or get a beta brute bitch ass male put a battery in the simp's back as an attack dog, and there's no consequences. So while two men are going at it and they kill each other, or one of them dies, she gets to walk, and guess what? A lot of times she just moves on to a new man.
Slaps are not that traumatizing of a thing when you come from the hood. Like people get.
That's bullshit. You don't have to come from the hood. I get so sick and tired of black folks to keep thinking that we all just come from, we're all monolithic and we all come from one different record. Fuck out of here. You slap somebody, it's assault. It doesn't matter if it's punched in the face. It doesn't matter how severe, how bad it's an injury. It's still assault. It's no different than a car accident. It can be a fender bender, or it can be a wreck, or the car is totaled. And you got the fire department and all the police and the ambulance trying to get somebody out of their mangled, fucked up, total car. It's still a car accident, isn't it? It doesn't matter. It's still a crime is a crime. A health condition is a health condition.
Slapped. I've seen mothers slap the shit out of their kids hard. Somebody say every day. I mean, I don't understand why we so upset over a slap, because it happened on the stage. And I want to bring up a point before we get to these white people, because this is the Joe Rogan. We got to say something about this motherfucking cracker. I got something to say. What that lady name is? The Schumer. I don't even know the white bitch. I just know her face. Her name is Amy, I believe. Right? Before we get into that, but let's talk about something. I've heard black men. Do I have any of y'all in my comment section today who want to tell me how black women?
Here's that shame. Here's the sign language. This is why you can't have a conversation with a lot of these modern women. Hold on.
Nature, right? I think far too often we are too concerned with what white people think, and I don't understand why we can't act like this in front.
Let me pause it.
And Joe Rogan, we got to say something about this motherfucking cracker. I got something to say. What that lady name is? The Schumer. I don't even know the white bitch. I just know her face. Her name is Amy, I believe. Right? Before we get into that. But let's talk about something. I've heard black men. Do I have any of y'all in my comment section today who want to tell me how black women need to stop provoking black men to violence and making them look stupid just.
Well, they do. They do. And the thing is that there's no debate about that. It's not your place to even say that. Because you do have women who do use men as weapons. It's not a secret, and this is the problem I have with a lot of modern women, you included, Michi. And I have no interest in debating, because I'm going to stand by facts. You can be in your emotions all day and talk crazy. Ain't nobody scared of you. We just don't want to deal with you. And my thing is, the thing about that, you have women who provoke men into violence. I am so sick and tired of you masculine heifers. And I'm not just speaking directly to her. I'm speaking to women who have this mindset, want to be in their masculine, want to be toxic, be a toxic feminazi, want to use their misandry, practice their misandry, especially black misandry, and attack men and get other beta, weak ass, effeminate ass males. You want to be a fucking wild hyena hood rat, but then you want to be protected from the consequences. That's the problem. But let's talk about this.
To defend black women. Do anybody want to say that to me today? Don't block.
No. You don't deserve to be defended. How about you stay in your place? Stay in your feminine. I know that's hard for most of you modern women who are in your masculine. You feel like you want to attack random men or get these Captain Saberhoes to come after you, to come after this a man. I don't give a fuck what he said. It's just words. Okay, we've been. It's like she's not special. You're not God, and I stand by Kevin Samuels. Now, I know you don't like. I know for a fact you don't like Kevin Samuels. I'm not saying I'm a Kevin Samuels supporter. The fact that you try to talk tough is laughable. Yelling and screaming at somebody, what does that do? And I already know you ain't gonna talk tough. You're gonna hide behind a weapon, like you said. You're gonna hide behind your husband or your man. Or you're gonna hide behind protection. And this is the problem. This is the problem with modern women. There's no accountability. So my thing, so if you support equality, and I'm not saying you do, but if women want to support equality, you deal with it. First of all, just have to defend. How about Chris Rock's wife and kids come for Will Smith and Jada Pinkett and the family with a weapon, with a bullet, with a gun. How would you feel about that?
Let them say the dumb shit in the chat. Let them say it so we can see who all the punk ass men are.
See,
Okay?
see, 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 that's an ad hominem attack. Why do we gotta be punk ass men? Because we don't share the same viewpoint. That's another example of shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right. This is why you avoid women like this. Now, I'm gonna say it like this. Let me put in a disclaimer. I do like Michi as a person. But my thing is, this is why. Look, I know people don't fuck with me on a lot of things. I'm not saying I'm not saying people get along with me and shit like that. But I'm fair. I can listen. You know what I'm saying? But because we have a different point of view and we believe women should not be masculine and be toxic and be extra and put men in danger and even put your own man in danger. I wonder if Michi X would have been okay if that was her man. Would she want her man to risk his life for her? And would she be okay? Now I know, but see, Michi is a high earner. She's the 9% of women making way over six figures. So her perspective is different. She could talk about her, oh, my horrible childhood and what I went through as a kid, what I went through as a woman and all that stuff. Nobody cares. The world don't owe you heifers understanding. And I'm saying this to who it applies to. Now, if you want to get offended, Michi, that's fine. I don't care if you do. You're too super sensitive.
First of all, that is Will Smith's wife. He has the right to defend her any way that he wants to defend her.
Okay. No, he doesn't. And my thing is, why don't she defend him? Why don't she defend him? So you okay with him getting arrested, losing the Oscar, being banned, losing his opportunities over a lame joke? Are you serious? So let me ask you this. What if Chris Rock would have had a gun and he got shot dead? Would you be okay with that too? I'm not, look, we can debate about, but I'm just saying, when it comes to violence, you cannot dictate the consequences. You want to act out, because Jada Pinkett has been out of pocket for a long time, disrespecting black men, disrespecting Camille Cosby. She had choice words about black women who choose to be feminine, choose to be homebodies, who choose to be nurturing and stay at home. She said something about that. Do you have a problem with that? Now you could say, well, that's just, okay, but you see, again, but my thing is that the men can say whatever the fuck they want too. Then Chris Rock can say whatever the hell he wants. It's just words at the end of the day. Now I know words hurt, but you gotta think about that. She has said out of pocket shit towards black men and it actually has put her husband in danger with the affair and an entanglement. No, she cheated. The whole cheated. Now, it was an open relationship. Why would she try to rationalize it? If her and Will are good, why are you even talking about it in the first place? And why would you even put Will in the red table and try to get him to accept it if it was an open relationship? You tell me.
But let me give you a perspective that maybe you've heard, but I haven't heard anybody say this yet. People said, why would he do that in a room full of white people? Why would Chris Rock think that it's okay in a room full of white people to make fun of a bald-headed black woman?
Oh, come on. Let me say this. Do you know that have you ever asked Chris Rock? And I don't expect you to. But maybe ever stop and think maybe he was paid to say that. Now, Chris Rock can refuse as a grown man. He can say, no, I'm not going to do that. However, I would have to call bullshit. Jada Pinkett didn't even have to go. If she felt so insulted, her and Will felt so insulted, she could have got the fuck out. Y'all act like y'all don't have choices. I'm so sick and tired of modern black women always seeing themselves as a goddamn victim, but you have no problem victimizing your own men that y'all claim y'all care about. No, I forgot. Y'all care about the men you like with that conditional femininity. Y'all don't care about black men because if she cared about her husband, she should have defended her husband. When George Clooney was talking her shit, he's a bitch ass motherfucker, bitch ass cave, was talking his shit and disrespecting Her husband, Jada Pinkett, was with George Clooney, and he was saying all types of shit, making fun of him and being disrespectful. And this is not it's not just him. Jada Pinkett has let other people disrespect her husband. How come she ain't defending her honor, Michi? Explain that.
Hmm? Like let's be real. Let's go into the depths of this, right? Since we want to talk about that. Black women have always been told they bald head bitches. Am I lying or am I not lying?
And black men have been told they are bitchy ass dudes, the way their hair, they're called thugs, criminals, and rapists. So what's your fucking point? Black men have been criticized on how we dress, how we wear our hair, how we are perceived to be threatening. Black men, when black men wear hair, we've been making fun of us black men. I mean, men who lose their hair. I lost my hair. My brother lost his hair. My granddaddy lost on my mom's side he lost his hair. We get all types of disrespect. How come y'all can't take it? But black men are forced to take it. But when are our women going to defend us? And this is a general. I'm not speaking directly towards you, Michi. I'm speaking in general.
Black women can't grow hair. Hair has always been a touchy subject when it comes to black women. Even when we go back to slavery.
Oh no! You're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. Hair has always been a touchy subject for all people. Hair has been a touchy subject for women in general. I'm not minimizing. I am so sick and tired of y'all making it that damn deep. Women today, the black women of today are not the black women of slavery. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't let you get away with that. Black women were married, didn't have kids out of wedlock like crazy, despite all the shit that we dealt with as black people in chattel slavery and Jim Crow. We had family. We were together. Actually, believe it or not, I don't care how you feel about it because you really can't qualify because you got a white father. Black families were together and unified, and then all of a sudden it came the baby boomers. Then it came the civil rights, integration. Then it came feminism, college, welfare, the sexual whole liberation, no fault divorce, child support. But you don't want to. But I don't expect you to explain all that because this doesn't fit your narrative.
Made women wrap their damn heads up. They shave their head because this country has always projected that black women can't grow hair and we just some bald head motherfuckers who can't grow any hair. Isn't that a stereotype put on black women in this country all the time since the very?
No. It's not just that. It's a stereotype how black women perpetuate stereotypes by being loud, extra, tearing down their men, being effeminate, being thoughts, being the Jezebels. Let's talk about that. But you want to go back all the way to slavery. I'm so sick and tired of black people who really. I'm not. Now she knows what she's talking about, but it's not that damn deep. I am sick and tired of black women going back to slavery when she never addressed the self hatred as a slave mentality that has been passed down. I'm so sick and tired of black women acting like they're the only ones that suffered when black men have suffered more so than she does. Okay, black women actually own slaves. You had a certain segment of black women, and you had a lot of white females who owned slaves. But y'all did, but no, it don't fit the narrative. I am so sick and tired of black women with their I'm a victim. Black, the women before you, I'm sorry, Michi. You could get mad on me. You can get mad, but you're not as strong as the black women in the past. Y'all some weak ass bitches. You martyr women are some weak ass bitches, and actually you have killed and emasculated your own men with all this toxic feminism. And I'm not saying it's your fault as an individual. I'm saying is that y'all want to talk about how strong and tough you are, but y'all wreck your homes. Black women leave their families with no fault, with the divorcing the man or breaking up. The women initiate 80% of the breakups. Women, actually, black women divorce their husband at a higher rate and percentage over some bullshit. But when it comes to her bullshit, you can't say nothing. Black women are always the victim. Oh, here we go with the color purple narrative. Here we go with the way they exhale. When does it stop? When are y'all gonna stop? When are y'all gonna stop being victims? But y'all can talk shit about everybody else. Then you wanna hide behind race, and I'm a woman. Black men don't get the luxury to do that. We can't even pull. We can't even hide behind race and cry out racism and misandry.
Very beginning. Yes. So why would Chris Rock think that it's okay to joke about a black woman like that in front of?
No. Why is it so what? He has freedom of speech. Again, y'all not special! You're not special! I get so sick and tired of the censorship. I get so goddamn tired of y'all policing what black men cannot say. He's a grown man. He's 50 plus years old. He can say whatever the fuck he wants. Why don't you have that same smoke for Joe Rogan and these other white folks and Amy Schumer? You can talk your shit. Well, I would love for you to see the slap the shit out of them. And I have no problem actually doing the job, but you know, I'm crazy if I even try to do it. Because let me say this, Michi. If okay, let's say this. Would you be okay? And you know, I mean, if Will Smith would have slapped the shit out of Jerry Seinfeld, would that have been okay? Maybe to you, yes, you wouldn't care. But what if Will Smith would have got up and slapped the shit out of Amy Schumer? Would you defend him? Would you post bond? Would you pay his bail? I'm just saying black women who say he defended his wife. What if Amy Schumer was talking, or a white female comedian like Amy Schumer, Kathy Griffin was talking shit to Jada Pinkett Smith and making fun, making jokes, racist jokes? Would she sent Will Smith to slap the shit out of her? I bet she wouldn't. Why don't Jada Smith go slap the shit out of Amy Schumer and Kathy Griffin? Why would she allow Will Smith to slap the shit out of Jerry Seinfeld, Louis C.K. and them? Now I have issue with Chris Rock because when he was sitting with Jerry Seinfeld and Louis C.K. and they were saying nigger, nigger, nigger and making all types of racist jokes, he didn't do nothing. So I do agree with you on Chris Rock. He's notorious for going around black people, but I would argue that black people, we do disrespect each other. I would say that black men disrespect black men, and you black women disrespect black men a hell of a lot more so than you do other black women. The one time I see black women disrespect other black women when they're feminine, when they're in shape, and they stand by their husband. They stand by a good man. He may not be perfect, just like she ain't perfect, but when she said shit about Bill Cosby, when she disrespected Snoop Dogg, and I'm gonna give you props. Yes, you did address that about Gil King and Oprah and about the disrespect of Kobe Bryant and his daughter and particularly them. But yeah, there were other people in the helicopter crash. Okay, I get so sick and tired of women saying y'all can talk shit and give your critiques about everybody else, especially black men, even other black women. But the minute somebody say something specifically a black man, oh, y'all can't take it. Y'all so damn weak.
A room full of white people. Why is she the brunt of his joke? People say, Will Smith had done that had it been a white man? Why Chris Rock didn't have them kind of jokes for white women?
That's a fair question. And you and I know.
I mean, just let that sink in for a moment.
They're both.
Why Chris Rock don't got them kind of jokes for white women?
But why does Will Smith don't got that type of smoke to slap the shit out of white folks who disrespected him? The one time he did that when a white male tried to kiss him. That was the only time. How come Will Smith didn't have the smokes when white folks were talking shit about Jada Pinkett Smith? Where's that same smoke? Because there was actually white folks talking shit about Jada Pinkett Smith and calling Will Smith a sucker. How come he didn't have that same energy? How come he didn't go and slap and curse him out and say, keep your wife's name out my mouth? How come he didn't talk crazy to these white folks? Michi, explain to me that.
People say comedy is comedy and people should be able to get away with it. I'm from the hood.
Jesus Christ.
How many of you have watched somebody have a roast section or a rap battle and it turned into getting your ass whooped? People, words shouldn't get you hurt. Yeah, sometimes people shouldn't just put their hands on folks over words, but that's not the reality of the world we live in. Sometimes you say the wrong thing and a motherfucker will put their hands on you. And I don't understand this thing of comedians get a pass just because they're fucking comedians. They don't get passes when they talk about the LGBTQ community. Now, had that man been talking shit about transgenders and a transgender went up on the stage and slapped the fuck out of him, would we be having this conversation today?
Absolutely not.
Would anybody be mad, or would it be that the LGBTQ community had to stand up for themselves? Y'all tell me what you think. See, and when you switch the scenario and you place other people in these positions, you begin to look at the situation a little bit different. When you are able to place different people in these situations and take a look at each one of them differently, I think that we're responding the way we're responding because Will is black. And
I agree with Michi. I agree with you on that. But again, Jada Pinkett Smith had talked when it came to the Me Too movement. She disrespected a lot of black men who were falsely accused. Got Me Too, but she didn't have that smoke for Weinstein. She didn't have that wine. She didn't have that smoke for these white male accused. From white males were accused during the Me Too times, silent breakers. How come Jada Smith didn't talk her shit with Gail and Oprah and them and David DuVernay? Talk about how come they weren't canceled. Hell, when Donald Trump was in office, okay, maybe that was the exception because that was a political agenda to manipulate black people to support the Democratic plantation, especially black women. Okay, when Cosby was wrongfully in prison, Jada Pinkett Smith talked shit. She had talked when she emasculated and disrespected Snoop Dogg, when she has disrespected black men and black men in the black community, but never said nothing about these white males and their questionable behavior and their fucking toxic, fucked up, degenerate behavior. And I'll say the same thing when it came to white females doing fucked up shit. Doing fucked up shit to black men, black women. She had nothing to say. Jada Pinkett, Oprah, Gail, Ava DuVernay and them. Susan Rice, she a fucking bedwitch. Talk about I'm going to send the military towards a black man, a black father. Y'all can say whatever you want to say about Snoop. I have issues with Snoop. Why would you threaten a black man who's there for his kids? Now, I do have issues with the coon shit he be doing, but black people, y'all support it. Y'all buy all that music. Y'all support the bullshit. So we got to take a personal accountability as a collective. Why would you emasculate Snoop and talk about he needs to apologize and tear him down when he was right to go off on Gayle King and Oprah? Why is it that when it came to Cosby, Jada Pinkett Smith talk shit about black men and disrespected, even when it came to the Me Too scandals? She had smoke for black men, but when it comes to these white males, she didn't say shit, unless it was Donald Trump. Nothing about Les Moonves, nothing about John Actel, nothing. But she talks about believe all women and support black women. But you had a black woman who was raped by John Actel, one of the Jews. Lena Dunham called him a liar, even though there was evidence. Where was Jada Pinkett Smith using her platform to say something about that? Calling out these white females in their debauchery and being rapist accomplices, and committing rapes and pedophilia them damn self. Allison Mack, Adrian Argento and them. Okay? See, this is the problem. Y'all can't say nothing about black women. Y'all can't hold her accountable. And I would say, as a matter of fact, we can't even hold these white females accountable because one thing I would say, they got white privilege. We can't hold white folks accountable because we don't got power like that. We're not unified. We don't have a code. But the problem I have with women that defend Jada Pinkett Smith is that y'all defend the wrong females, but y'all have so much to say about Camille Cosby. They had so much to say about Camille Cosby standing by her husband, regardless if he did wrong or not. But meanwhile, going after other black men. Denzel. I have issues with Denzel. Believe that. Jamie Foxx. You know what I'm saying? The point I'm trying to make is I got to go to work. Is that the reason why we had an issue with Jada, because she has talked so much shit, just like these other melanated heifers, in Hollywood. And even in just everyday black women, being disrespectful to men who air out their grievances, Being disrespectful when black men call who have respectful critiques. But y'all let people outside the community disrespect y'all. And I'll say, yes, you can say Michi. You can say the same thing. Black men are guilty of this too. But the thing is, we don't get to be a Karen and cry a victim. We're not allowed to cry a victim. We can't get away with like y'all. We can't hide behind I'm black and I'm a woman, or I'm a woman and I'm black. We get laughed at. Hell, even when I made that comment, you know, when black men are abused and mistreated and harmed, especially by women, we get laughed at when we go to the police station, especially when we tell our starting to air our grievances. Now, I'm not trying to say you didn't, that you're part, I'm not saying you don't defend black men, but I'm just calling out, I gotta call out bullshit. Look, Will Smith was, you can't allow a female like Jada Pinkett Smith to be disrespectful and fuck with other black men, other black people, disrespect black women who don't move like her, who don't have a feminist attitude, who don't conduct themselves as a dusty hoe ass 304, dusty ass slut, Jezebel. But the minute somebody say something to her, and she's talking hard shit, that she loves being bald and shit and all this other crap, smile and giggle, now since she has to change her and wants to use him as an attack dog. Using Will Smith as an attack dog. Now Will Smith, he's a grown man. You cannot say that. So if it's work, this is the problem I have. I'm gonna leave it like this. There's a reason why a lot of black men are in prison, have died in the streets, gotten killed because of a black female Karen. Because a black woman said he did this to me. Y'all, we can talk about Emmett Till and how he was wrongfully murdered, but guess what? You have black females actually doing the same thing, lying and taking and twisting words and say he said this to me, he did this to me, and come to find out she lied. You had a black brother in New York, like Junior, was lied on, and he got killed by a bunch of thug ass attack dog beta brute ass males when he didn't even rape, assault that woman, that young girl. He was like a 12, 13-year-old boy, and young man, but he was a 12-year-old boy got murdered because she was messing around being a thought. I don't care what the trauma is. You don't lie on nobody like that. You had Brian Banks being falsely accused of rape, harass. And I can speak from my personal situation. I was falsely accused by black women on crimes I didn't commit, especially sex crimes, domestic violence. But I'm not going to go into that. You have females who abuse their position as women to hurt another man for no reason. Will Smith was wrong, and it was just unnecessary. If you're going to do that, then you're going to have to fight everybody. Because you cannot defend a woman. You know, you can say this. Would you be okay with your husband just blindly attacking men who said something about you and he had a lot to lose? On the smallest, pettiest things. You're not in danger. He said something. Okay? He can use his words to talk shit back. You know what I'm saying? It's not that serious. And that's the problem with a lot of modern melanated women. They're always a victim. They want to, but they get to be masculine, be extra, be a shit starter. And then she's a victim. But meanwhile, she can say all types of disrespectful things and emasculate men and talk shit about people. But the minute somebody does something to her, now he got to fight the whole world while she being a shit starter. But she has never defended her honor. She has never defended his honor. Jada Pinkett Smith, in other words, Michi and everybody else, Jada Pinkett Smith has yet to defend her husband on the disrespect. Even after he slapped the shit out of Chris Rock, she's silent. She doesn't respect him. That's the problem.